played this record as frequently as possible.
All right, in this one, I am here joined today with the gang, bro, with the Cowboys. Say what's up, bro, real quick.
Can I get a woo-woo?
Ahoy, Mignoy. Bro, dude, I think we're all just pretty teed up, pretty gassed up with this Vegito. On paper, he's looking pretty ridiculous. Just we're here to gas him up today. We're here to claim he's number one before we're actually able to use this unit here. He does have like this brand new mechanic, similar to like something you would see on like full power battle, where you kind of just tap the screen a bunch of times. It's going to be doing a decent amount more damage. Don't really know how it's going to, like, what the damage difference and shit like that is going to be, but it's pretty promising. Do you guys have any like initial thoughts on Vegito, like animations, kit, stuff like that, just right off the top?
He's sexy.
He says sexy.
Okay, I think they did a really good job with the animations. The reveal was similar. You could kind of compare it to when the Gogeta got released, right? Just a lot of iconic moments and scenes from that one, just obviously when he was shown in the anime. And yeah, he looks pretty freaking sexy, but, we're just going to move on. If you guys haven't already liked the video, subscribe, and obviously go subscribe to these guys too, Green Rough Bar. They should be linked in the description here. But I'm just going to review their kit, talk about the meta here. They have this new mechanic, Arts Mechanic. They don't have a name for it. Arts Action Mechanic is the name of the mechanic. Okay, so this action will activate upon landing an ultimate arts card. Tapping the screen requisite number of times will increase already impressive new damage to new levels and to destroy all your enemy cards. Okay, so just a lot of damage, and you get to destroy all your enemies' cards. It'll say more abilities here on when you click the ultimate. But yeah, I mean, I think the new mechanic looks pretty sick. Whenever they implement something new, it's always going to be some form of like, this is kind of cracked, right? Or it's going to be a flake. But honestly, I think this should be pretty good. He has a special cover change against strike arts. Okay, so his strike, he has a strike cover change. Using special arts card activates counters against tap attack, strike arts, and blast arts. So his specific counter, his green card has, you're able to counter tap attack, strikes, and blast arts. I mean, it's pretty good, right? These powerful counters, blah, blah, blah. Offensive breakdown, or after battle, you receive, blah, 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 blah. Bro, this is how I be reading kits, I'm not even gonna lie. The unique gauge every time. So he has a very similar gauge to what Beast Gohan is, what they compared him to. So every time you're using an arts card, you're slowly, I don't even think slowly, you're filling up his gauge. This is me jumping into like his kit. You start out with cover nullification when you jump into the fight. So five timer counts with cover nullification. You're slowly building up his gauge, and then you're gonna get 5 more counts of cover null if you fill up the gauge within a combo. So he's just going to be dealing long combos, plus his double card draw speed. Where's this shit? Bro, this is a crazy page. So yeah, he's getting increased arts card draw speed by 1 level, can't be canceled, and he gets another card draw speed level for 30 timer counts. And this is what, when the battle starts? Okay, so right off the rip, if you throw him in the fight, he's getting all this card draw speed, cover nullification right off the rip. By the way, it's usually with a lot of characters that start off the game with cover nullification, it's only for like a limited amount of times. This guy has unlimited amount of times of cover nulls, right? So if you're jumping into the fight with cover null, it doesn't go away. Other key things, he has like so many just random new abilities that we kind of haven't seen before. He has this what is that debuff against rising or enemies obtaining Dragon Balls, right?
Yeah, he passed it. Just up top, yeah. Reduces Dragon Ball effect for 60 timer counts. That's actually pretty insane. It's actually pretty dumb.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of characters right now that have Rising Rush or Dragon Ball manipulation in the game, so for 60 timer counts, it's just more and more effects to kind of reducing the amount of Rising Rushes you're going to be seeing. So this is like his own form of anti-rush, right? Nullifies enemies, reduce Dragon Ball effects for 60 timer counts is kind of ridiculous. Reduce damage received by...
This guy is completely wrong. He's saying that it takes away the fact that people can destroy your Dragon Balls. It doesn't take away your opponent's Dragon Balls, if that makes sense. So like...
Yeah.
UGB, and you fill up his gauge, you know how it usually take away a Dragon Ball? If you fill up that gauge with VB don't give a fuck. He's keeping that Dragon Ball.
Correct. So... Yeah. I guess I was saying it, but it's still a form of Dragon Ball manipulation, right? Plasma nullifies enemy destroys cards. Okay, so it's just that's pretty good. Applies Volley effects 2 when this character enters the battlefield, draws a strike, 20% key recovery, nullifies enemy special, 5 counts, seals enemy rush for 5 timer counts. This is when a character enters the battlefield too. When this character enters the battlefield, seals enemy rising rush for 5 counts. So you can't just instant, like, say if you swap into a character and he's gonna rush this character, he can't rush you for 5 timer counts, right? So you'll have those counts to either swap out or somehow stop the combo or whatever. Reduce enemy vanish to 0. I think it's interesting. You're gonna have to make use of this one time, so activates once. I mean, it's still a pretty broken ability. Reduces enemy vanish to gauge, so you could really trap your opponent if you do this correctly. Applies the following, cancels ally after downgrades, abnormal conditions if there are 3 enemy battle members remaining. Inflicts enemy minus 15% to crit rate. Alright, yeah, Shallot, you're getting fucked, bro. W. Seals enemy special move arts. Seals nobody's using Shallot, by the way. Applies the volume effects to self, but this is pretty good. So so when you're under 50% or below HP, you're restoring health by 30. You're nullifying element factors for sustained damage. So you're taking type neutral damage. Increases zone Dragon Ball by 1 and can't spell attribute downgrades. Abnormal conditions. Pretty good. And this is his second unique here, where his gauge is going to appear. He has the strike cover, charges his own unique gauge every time this character uses a card. So once his unique gauge is full, it's going to pop, reset, and you're drawing a strike, healing, getting key, damage inflicted, which does stack, right? It says cannot be canceled, but it does stack. 30% to damage inflicted for 15 counts, key recovery, and you get cover null for 5 counts. My immediate thought is that 5 counts is like not that long, but he starts, when he gets into the field, he starts off with 5 counts. So I don't know how long it's going to take for him to fill up the gauge, but he does have card draw speed, and you could chain these cards. I'm just thinking of UI right now, right? Purple UI, and his 5 timer count cover null with his green card. He's barely able to do 2 cards with it.
Yeah, I mean, but he's every time into the field though, so I mean, feel pretty cracked. But I don't know, man. I mean, like everything else about this kid kind of like makes up for it, bro.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Applies the effects itself when the character activates Rising Rush. So he has the the UGB mechanic here. So he's able to nullify endurance with his Rising Rush specifically. Nullify endurance, obviously, and increase own Dragon Balls by 1. So I think he's like a mix of a couple of characters, right? He's just a mix. He's like sort of a better UGB, something similar to Beast Gohan's gauge, right? Following effects occur when the character defeats it. He gets what's this? Defeats an enemy, restores on advantage by 100, and restores ally health by 10. Is pretty sweet. I guess we could jump into. He has blast armor on his strikes. His ultra ability is for Tag Fusion Warrior, so you're going to be wanting to pair him with, Ultra Gogeta. Obviously, he'll still have the Future tag. Probably his best partners will be on Future and Fusions. This is what I'm thinking. Like the main teams he's going to be ran on is on Fusion Warriors and on Future. Right? Obviously, you're going to leader slot him anywhere, but I think this is going to increase the value right now of Goku Black, Gogeta, right? You're going to see a little bit more value, a lot of more runtime from them. Just color-wise, dynamic-wise, Rose is going to be a pretty good color dynamic, right? Specifically red, green, and then you have blue Trunks and missing one more Future character. Is that it? It's just the 3 of them?
That does what?
On Future, right? So you're thinking Goku Black, Trunks, and UVB for like the Future comp. I mean, that's pretty much it, right? You could run Future Gohan, but
or you want Future Gohan, if you don't want too many offensive.
Probably would have Future Gohan since VB is gonna be everywhere. He's red. You might have to keep.
Yeah. I think yellow units are definitely gonna see a hit with this, right? They're gonna see a hit with, kit wise, just. It's hard to really declare a unit number 1 in the game. It's very obvious that his kit's ridiculous. We're going to have to see stats. We're going to have to see, the overall synergy he has with certain characters. What really makes units broken, as well as the team flow and dynamic. So, how he pairs well with a lot of characters is really going to determine. We didn't jump into any of these cards either. He does have blast armor on strikes. which is kind of insane that they just give it to every single character. I was actually not thinking, just because on the actual reveal you couldn't tell that he had blast armor. I couldn't tell personally. But blast armor is always autopilot characters, right? 10% to damage received for 15 timer counts on an enemy. Restores own ki by 5 on blasts. Extreme bleed on blue cards is, you know, I think really insane too. Extreme bleed's like Goku Black also does that. So a lot of bleed on a future comp, right? And Sword of Hope also inflicts bleed, I think. Not on blue cards, but just in general.
Yeah, in general.
Strikes. Yeah, so it's just like a future is going to be extreme, like depleting health team, right? If you're getting comboed, attacked, blue carded, whatever, you're just going to be over time depleting your HP. This is the counter, right? So his counter is on strikes, blasts, and taps. Not really. I mean, you could see it in the animation and whatnot, but I mean, it counters everything, right? It counters everything. So restores own health by 15. You go type neutral for 10 counts. There's no damage inflicted on this. It's only on the gauge, but seals enemy rising rush for 5 timer counts. Counter randomly destroys only one of your cards. I mean, it's a pretty solid. I don't like that it doesn't give damage inflicted, but he has a fucking ton in his base kit. So he has a ton in his base kit. What was your calculations looking like, Var? You did like a bunch of mathematics earlier.
Oh yeah. So bro, throughout the whole game, bro, he's gonna have 230, bro.
So what is it? 30% from his ultra. He's getting.
So keep in mind. So he has 150, right, in the first line of his shit, right?
Yeah.
He has 30 from his ultra ability, so that's 180. Okay. Then you gotta count the featured boost, which is 20. So off already 200. Then he has 30% strike damage, so that's 230. And then every time you fill your gauge, you get 30% damage inflicted. So
it's 260 total.
Yeah, 260 for strikes and then 230 for overall.
So
Or yeah, that support unit like Pan or Future Hunt. That's
Oh yeah, you just put him with the support unit and then he's just fucking. It's that simple.
he's just fucking.
he's just
So yeah, you can make it work. The thing is, like, you're gonna have to run him on fusion. Like, if you're running a support unit, right, he's just gonna be main on fusions, right? I think that's gonna be his main team. Fusion Warriors is a setup that does thrive during celebrations like this because they receive like a massive buff, and then the rest of the team is like sort of, I don't want to say mediocre, but I want to say like kind of power crept. Like Gogeta's fine, Gogeta Blue is fine, but it's literally just gonna be the two of them. Like everybody else, I mean, Ultra Super Vegito, he still kind of cooks, and then that's it, right? You don't have so many team options for that build, but you could throw Pan on leader slot, throw Rose on leader slot. I think we're going to start to see actual decent triple ultra setups because everyone's going to have full access to their ultra ability. So whether you're throwing like Rose on leader slot for fusions, everyone's still getting their ultra ability. If you throw VB on future, right, and you throw, you know, obviously Rose is going to be on the team, so both of them do get access to their full ultra. Is there another for their? I was really hoping he would get the future ultra ability, bro. So if he got that, I think the best setup would have been triple ultra, Rose, Kid Buu, and then him. But you know, obviously that's not a possibility right now. Anything else that I'm thinking of? Top unit in the game, kit wise, he's either gonna be 1 or 2. Don't see him being number 3. Partners, like I said, he's gonna be great on fusions, future. So Goku Black's gonna be his best friend. I think personally he's gonna be number 3 in the game. Gogeta probably 4 or 5, just for the fact that you're running Gogeta Blue with him. He's going to be on the best teams with him. Teams, or when you're ranking units on a tier list, this is, you know, common knowledge. It's not all on the individual basis, right? So whoever you're partnering up your characters with, these characters are already top 5, top 10 in the game. They're going to only just gain value with having the best unit in their game be their perfect counterparts, right? I do think, I don't know, Future's gotten a really big buff with the Trunks right now. And just to have like a perfect trio on Future or on Fusion Warriors or something like that, they might be close to. I don't know if on par is the right word. It really depends how broken individually VB is. But Unireps really is that cracked right now. So Go Frieza specifically is that cracked right now. I'm sure there's going to be some comps with Go Frieza and VB. You could throw Go Frieza maybe on leader slot on a Fusion Warrior setup, or I don't know. You might not need support with all this damage inflicted. You might not need support. Go Frieza ramps up fine on their own. A lot of the individual mechanics, rush control, you know, you name it. But you guys have any final thoughts on the meta or just anything that he would kind of affect?
Snooky's a bitch. Let's see.
Alright. He's gonna be watching this. He's gonna be like, "What the fuck, bro? I'm just a tag." That's
I
funny.
feel
as hell.
I just feel like another thing that in terms of like PvP, I feel like there's gonna be a lot more longer matches, bro. Like
Yeah, a lot of less
they've
rush.
really been trying to find ways of just like slowing the game down where like people don't kill in like 30 timer counts, like stealing Rising Rush, then you have Goku Frieza, and then you have like these units that like 17 where they can kind of keep some of these nullification on Rising Rush stuff. I
Correct.
feel like they're really trying to like have longer matches, which is interesting.
Yeah, a lot of just anti-rush stuff, whether it's manipulate
Yeah.
Dragon Balls, rush protection, nullifying the abilities for rush. But yeah, I feel like VB's just a better version. A better version of existing characters. He really just feels like UGB. Like that. This is what this character does look like. I think it's cool with the new mechanic on the ultimate. I liked what they did with the animations. I think it's going to be a pretty big buff to Future, considering Future was just carried by Rose for a minute now. Right, he was not really ran on Future. He's ran like with more PO comps, Kid Buu, Zamasu, any like powerful opponent type stuff. But now where he's just gonna have a little bit more diversity, you're gonna be seeing a lot more Roses again. Rose took a little detour with Go Frieza and like every single match just getting one shotted, but now he'll be a good counter. So like when Go Frieza swaps to Frieza, and then VB does exist and whatnot. But I think Future is gonna be definitely a top team. Fusions is probably. We'll have to see it when it happens, right? A top team as well. Curious to see how the Triple Ultra setup is going to look like. Most comps in the game is ruled by like a support unit plus, your two powerhouse units. I think Uni Rep is like the exception for that, just because they're so tanky and deal enough damage without any support units. So, just excited for more diversity in PvP. Obviously you're gonna be seeing VB every single game, but slowing down on yellows. More team comps. You're going to see a lot more Future teams. Jiren's going to take a dive. Kid Buu's going to just take a dive. Individually, I think Kid Buu might stand strong, but as the best unit in the game being red, arguably 1 or 2 though, right? Is that what you guys are thinking, number 1 or number 2?
I think it's 2.
You think Go Frieza will still hold number 1?
Yeah, just because like I feel like the one big weakness with VB is that he doesn't really have the. Like, he has kind of the same problem as Piccolo in the sense that his type neutral, it's, you don't really get to choose. Like, I don't
Is
know,
it on
it's
his
kinda
green
weird.
card?
Is it? Yeah, but like, that's it. He doesn't have any offensive besides that.
Yeah.
He doesn't
They're
get
all
enough-
the ones that are like defensive, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
all has defensive neutral. That's it.
I see. He doesn't
So,
have
like,
just like you pop main, you get type neutral for X. You got to actually get
And
the
then-
counter off. But it's on activation, right? You said it's on activation.
Yeah, on the green card, yeah, but like, it's only when you have the green card type shit.
Yeah.
And then even then, he only gets his type neutral damage sustained when he's like 50% or below. So like, if you catch VB in a sidestep and he's at full HP with Frieza, he's dead with the blue card.
Fair
you know?
enough. Yeah.
I think he probably might be number 2 because, like, I mean, if you have Uni Rep, bro, you just have Goku Frieza 17. You kind of like have 2 blues that kind of like slows his Rising Rush down.
Yeah.
The team is
Both of
still
them-
too broken, right? Like, just
Exactly.
meta-wise, they have more options. Unirep just has more options, and then Go Frieza is literally just an ultra character. Like, basically, right? Like, a unit that will compete with any of these.
Like, I want to say he's undisputed number 1. That's what I'm getting at.
He's arguable.
Arguable
UGB
number 1, yeah.
UGB drop, it was like undisputed number 1.
Fair enough.
I mean,
Yeah.
Bruce was really good, but UGB was like insane. But he's gonna be 1 and 2. It's just gonna be preference. Like people might just like VB, so they put him number 1. But
Yeah.
Goku Frieza, like, they still there.
Yeah.
Still there.
Yeah, well, there you guys have it, man. I'm on that same boat. It's either number 1 or number 2. I don't see any other way it could be number 3 or 4 for this character, just based off kit. We're gonna see more obviously when we get into some gameplay here, but bro, I'm feeling like Joku right now, trying to whip up my list like in my head, bro. Like top 10 list right now, bro.
It's
But,
like 4 fucking seconds.
4 fucking seconds. Drop a like, sub. I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Leave a comment what you guys think of VB, if you guys think he's gonna be number 1, or what your thoughts on him are. And I'll see you guys tonight for the summons, man. Deuce.
Vergil to 50K.
Gang.
Up all night, so you don't wanna wait on me. I'm about to catch my flight, so you don't gotta wait on me.